Here's a peek at what guests had to say after the show.
Okay, we're back on the internet. Do you agree with Al Gore's statement that Edward Snowden's leaks were an important service? I know you don't, Richard, right?
President Obama appointed me to a five-person group to review the entire issue around Snowden. And we had all the clearances in the world, and we looked at what he leaked and what the result was. Now, look, what he leaked revealed some stupid shit. You know, Obama has this policy of don't do stupid shit. Well, they were doing stupid shit. But they were
the NSA?
The NSA was.
Right.
But they were also preventing terrorism.
Absolutely.
And what Snowden revealed has helped the terrorists. This is not a theory. We have seen what the terrorists have done. They've shifted their communications patterns. We used to be able to see when they were saying, oh, let's blow up the embassy in Sana'a, Yemen tomorrow, right? And we'd prevent it. Now we don't see that. So, you know, I love Al Gore. He hasn't looked at the
And
data.
we know that's from Snowden?
Yeah.
But Dick, don't you think
It's
that
exact
there was
same time.
a
Exact same time.
necessary correction post 9/11 where we went too far in the direction of trampling on people's civil liberties, and that correction was necessary. I don't think
that was
Snowden
necessary,
is
Crystal, but
a hero, but
he went beyond that. If you actually look at the other stuff he revealed things that there was no reason to reveal and only helped people like Putin and the terrorists.
Thing, though, but then there's very little specifics generally that people can point to of where lives have actually been put in danger.
So it's classified, and I know that's a shitty answer, but it's true.
And what's very interesting, a side point which gets lost in a lot of this, is actually the impact that it's had on foreign service relationships. For example, in the UK. Now, you know, again, I have the voice, but I am American, so I have some, you know, impartiality. But the British intelligence community is very angry about the leaks, and for them, it's not even a question of people changing their.
Yeah, well, we're still kind of pissed off about MI5. You know, I mean, you had 5 people. Okay, so don't talk to us about this shit.
Well,
Kim Philby, Guy Burgess, who are the others, Richard Clark? You know who I'm talking about? Anthony Blunt,
we did too.
The Queen's historian.
We did
come on. After World War II, the leaks were in Britain. That's where it all went down.
Robert Hansen in the FBI.
That was much
Ames,
later.
Ames.
Much later.
Yeah, but look, everybody has spies. But no spy has ever...
But that's how they got the atomic bomb.
No, that's true. But no spy has ever...
Maybe the Rosenbergs too.
Has ever revealed the volume of material that Snowden has revealed. And it's helping not just Al-Qaeda, it's helping terrorists, it's helping criminals, it's helping Putin. You know, I am glad that he revealed some of the stupid shit that we were doing. I am not glad that we paid that price to get that information.
But on balance, you think he should have released nothing? You would rather him release nothing?
If that's the choice,
still have
if I had to choose between...
metadata and the American people have no idea what's going on.
If I had to choose between knowing nothing and having him reveal everything, I would choose knowing nothing.
Glenn Greenwald is on our show next week, so I'm sure we will hear the other side of that.
I think he has a different take, yeah.
Okay, will the next Republican presidential nominee support same-sex marriage?
No.
Of course not. I mean,
well,
no.
I think, to be honest, that's probably unlikely. But it's quite interesting.
Totally
you don't know.
It's just totally
You've seen like Rob Portman come in and support. You know, there is a dynamic, though, especially with younger conservatives. It's quieter. There is it's interesting talking to, you know, people on Capitol Hill who work for Republican, you know, congressmen and women. But there is a dynamic clearly there where younger conservatives are, you know, this is not.
Where's Rand Paul on that?
Rand Paul, I think he's playing the middle. I don't think he's come out clearly either side, which reflects.
I think he has come out clearly against gay marriage, or at least has said the thing about states should decide it.
Well,
minority rights, majority vote.
Rand Paul?
Yes, we'll see if he comes.
But there is, see, one of the arguments I would make, and I think conservatives have to make, is that if you're trying to appeal to young people who are not voting for conservatives, you're talking about immigration, trying to appeal to a broader base, it's very hard to make the argument, and things like conservative have gun ownership, but then say, you know, that private acts between consenting adults is an area we should intrude in. There's a
How about women's bodies? How about that one?
Well,
kind of inconsistent.
But it is an issue I think you will see. I suspect you'd be quite shocked how that evolves in the years to come.
Years is the...
No, but...
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look at Texas. I mean, their platform says right up front, gays, ooh.
I mean, we just had
I mean, they're not, that it destroys the fabric of life. This rhetoric that I thought we left 40 years ago with Bill Bennett and Pat Buchanan and all that culture wars.
A Republican candidate just came out and said that he thought it would be okay for gays to be stoned to death.
Right, stoned to death.
And not with marijuana.
That's just not, but come on, that's
not the fun way, right?
That's a crazy comment, though. I mean,
that is a crazy comment.
That's not, conservative.
But again, just to put things in perspective, when somebody says it here, it's a crazy outlier comment. Lots of countries in the world, not so much. Won't say which ones. Okay. What do you think is the most important thing Obama could do for our country realistically before he leaves office?
Well,
he could do something about immigration.
Yeah.
He could. There's a lot he can do by executive order, and he's beginning to, but it's slow. You
know what I'd like him to do? I would think when he leaves office, if he would give an Eisenhower-like speech, the way Eisenhower did about the military-industrial complex, about either that subject or about the environment. Like, I'm leaving office, you can't touch me now, so here's the real shit.
Why wait?
Or about money in politics, too.
Why wait? It's a great question.
One issue that's interesting.
It's a really great philosophy. Why do presidents in their second term? Clinton, same thing. I remember talking about pot. Clinton gave an interview to Rolling Stone right after he got out of office and said, "Yeah, I think it should be legalized." And I was like, Jesus, if only you're in some position of power where you could have done so, it would have been a whole.
But it is just on the issue with the environment. I think one of the things we need to get past is this obsession with global warming as the be-all and end-all. Because if you look at like ocean toxicology, for example, the oceans are the kind of source of life.
Yeah,
right,
that's connected to global warming.
No, but it isn't. But it is connected in some ways, but it's differentiated in others. Entering the food chain, toxic. But it's very interesting that all of the activism and the fundraising tends to be centered on global warming. And actually, I think on issues like oceans, you could, there's an opportunity there to bring Republicans into the fold. Now, of course,
we're kind of worried about catastrophic droughts and famine.
Right, but if you
you're right.
Motivating
the oceans is
right. But if we can do something, then let's do that. It's about. It doesn't mean that you have to say, well, Republicans are right.
Tell me what Republicans would support there.
Yeah, first of all, that's a pipe dream because it might cost 3 jobs.
Or $3 for that matter.
Or $3. So rather we die than spend $3 or lose 3 jobs. That is always their attitude.
Well, but if we're going to talk about energy, though, you look at Texas, California. You're talking about the minimum wage, wealth inequality, the number of energy jobs for people who are lower skilled. Energy jobs providing a lot of wealth in poor communities, and Democrats oppose that. You have people like Tom Steyer doing a huge amount of fundraising for excessive regulation.
They don't oppose it when the energy is sustainable energy. They don't oppose it when it's wind. They don't oppose it when it's solar. They don't oppose it when it's not hurting the environment. And you can create jobs that way, too.
Way more jobs. That's always how we create jobs and have giant economic boons, as with computers in the 90s. It's because there's some new fabulous industry, and we have it waiting for us. Green energy, but we can't embrace it because, too many politicians are prisoners of the extraction industries. That's who gives them their money. Did criminal charges against Chinese hackers, Richard Clark, against Chinese hackers accomplish anything?
Yeah. It did, Bill. What it did was it told a lot of CEOs in the United States that it's okay to do what U.S. Steel did, what Alcoa did, and admit you've been hacked by the Chinese. They've stolen your intellectual property. This is causing thousands of jobs to be lost in the United States. Now, we're never going to arrest those 5 guys, but we did send a message, both to the Chinese, we know what you're doing, but also to American CEOs. You've got a real problem. You've got to secure your networks, or you're going to lose more jobs.
Right. All right. Thank you, panel. Thank you, audience.
Real Time with Bill Maher. Ask Bill and his guests your questions right after the show at HBO.com or on Twitter.